For this discussion on the Universal Monsters on home video, we will now shift the focus to the films that introduced what many consider to be the last classic Universal monster, though others often disqualify him partly due to him being introduced in the 1950s and thus not part of the classic era of the 1930s and 1940s. We are speaking, of course, of the creature from the Black Lagoon. First introduced to movie audiences in 1954 in the film of the same name, the movie was shot in 3D, a then relatively new trend in film that subsequently continued through to the film's sequel, Revenge of the Creature, produced in 1955. A final sequel, The Creature Walks Among Us, produced in 2D only, was released in 1956. This video will focus on the US and Canada VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray releases of the three films. Beginning with VHS, the original Creature from the Black Lagoon film was first released to VHS in 1980 by MCA Video Cassette, and is the only VHS release of the film in 3D. However, the release uses the reissue version of the film from the 1970s that uses the anaglyph 3D format and is not accurate to the 3D of the original theatrical release. Plus, the video and sound quality of the release wasn't particularly good either. The next VHS release was in 1987 by Good Times Home Video, this time in its 2D version, although the video and sound quality still left little to be desired. Fortunately, a restored 2D version was included in the Universal Monsters Classic Collection VHS series in 1991 by MCA Universal. Also included was, in my opinion, the most badass and hypnotic video cover of any movie. Look how cool this cover looks, especially when you see the cover image expanded more like on this Laserdisc cover. The final VHS release was in 1999, again in its 2D format as part of the Classic Monster Collection. Revenge of the Creature and The Creature Walks Among Us were released to VHS twice, first as entries in the Universal Monsters Classic Collection, and then later on as the Classic Creature Collection. It should also be noted that both editions of Revenge of the Creature feature the film in its 2D format. Moving forward to the DVD releases, the original Creature film was first released to DVD in 1999 as part of the Classic Monster Collection, and had a pretty good selection of extras considering the time of its release. This same DVD would be repackaged a few times in later years, including this 2012 4-pack DVD set, as well as the solo DVD release from 2014. In 2004, Universal began re-releasing their Universal Monster films on DVD as legacy sets, with a Creature set being among them. It included not only a new DVD transfer of the original film, as well as the bulk of the extras from the earlier DVD release, but also marked the DVD debut of the two sequels. Additionally, the first two films are still presented in their 2D format. In 2012, the original Creature film was released to Blu-ray for the first time as part of the Classic Monsters Essential Collection. This release included the film in both 2D and 3D formats, with the latter being playable using a 3D TV setup. Although still not 100% accurate to the original theatrical release, including a few brief reverse shots of the 3D effect, this still represents the best 3D version of the film available on home video. Additionally, this also marked the home video debut of the film in its theatrical widescreen presentation. The Creature Blu-ray disc would be reissued separately over the next few years with different covers, and was later repackaged inside the Creature Legacy Blu-ray set in 2018, but more on that later. In 2014, Universal again reissued their Universal Monster films on DVD as legacy sets, though this time the DVDs were pressed on single-sided DVD-9 discs instead of the problematic DVD-18 discs of the 2004 releases. The Creature set included the same films and extras as the 2004 release, as well as again only featuring 2D versions of the first two films, though the DVD for the first film now uses the widescreen transfer that had been previously used for the Blu-ray. The format of the 2014 Legacy DVD sets was further continued with the subsequent Legacy Blu-ray sets, with a Creature set being released in 2018. The set reused the same 2012 disc for the original film, while a new disc was made to accommodate the newly restored sequels. Revenge of the Creature was provided in both 2D and 3D formats, and also marked the first home video release of that film and The Creature Walks Among Us in their theatrical widescreen presentations. However, because the 3D version of Revenge of the Creature was not authored correctly, the set disappeared off the market for a short time due to buyer complaints, with Universal later issuing replacement discs to buyers, and subsequent reissues of the set featured the corrected version. While the 3D version appears to be more or less fixed, there have been continued disappointed views on the 2D version of Revenge of the Creature. Some fans have expressed that the image looks considerably soft for something that comes from a 4K restoration, and only a mild step up from the original DVD release. It should be noted, however, that the 2D version of Revenge of the Creature uses the right eye source of the 3D image. Some fans have noted that they are able to access the left eye source, which apparently has slightly better quality than the right eye source, by switching off the 3D mode on their 3D setup while watching the 3D version of the film. However, others might argue that this is slightly pointless when they already have means of playing the film in its 3D format. The Creature Legacy set was also included in the Universal Classic Monsters 30-film box set, also released in 2018. And that wraps this discussion. The end of October is nearing, and Halloween will be upon us. Continue to like and subscribe, and as always, have a spooktacular day.